Hello everyone. So this is another video of 10 days of junk mail envelope projects together with Starving Emma and Bonnie and Clive. Here I'm going to show you how to make trifold envelope. I already have a video of two-fold and three-fold envelope where I'm using decoupage technique on it, and I will add that video below so you can check that one also. Um, these were envelopes from some postcards that my colleagues got together with me at work, and they were nice envelopes. They didn't need them, they didn't want to use them, they were going to throw them away, so I asked them if I can have them. So they were not damaged, there was just their names were written on the envelope, so that's an easy fix to do. What I was here doing actually before gluing down one envelope to another, I was scoring a line, because when you flip those or when you connect those envelopes together, you get this bulkiness, it creates kind of a bulky effect together when they are very tight. So I was scoring there a line to have a little bit of space between individual envelopes, so it creates more space for whatever I'm going to still add on it or in it, which you will see later. I will show you. I will be gluing some paper on, and also adding some ephemera, which already creates this bulkiness, that the thickness of the envelopes is getting more serious. So extra these extra scored lines that I did there, that extra space that I gave myself is already taken just by the ephemera on the decoration of the envelopes. So if I still add something in them, it will be even more. So that was actually a good idea to give myself this little extra space there. So once the envelopes are folded, you have a little bit more place to work with, let's say. So I didn't do this on the three-fold envelopes that I was doing the previous video with decoupage. And yeah, if I added too much inside, it was really difficult to close. Also this flip on the top, also that one I scored, so it closes nicely, as you can see. So you see this goes easy to close, and I think I will be now folding it back, and I will show you how much space I still have there. See, so there is still enough space to add something on the envelope, and it will not be forced in any way to be nicely folding, or it will not unfold itself. I hope I'm being clear here. See, so there is one space, this one on the first, between the first and the second envelope from the bottom. The space is a little bit smaller than the one between the second and the third one. And on the last flip, the cover, actually, the size of it, I actually more or less measured by the size of thickness of everything I had. So you see how thick it became now when adding all those ephemera decorations on the top. So think about it when you are creating this three-fold or two-fold envelopes, so you give yourself that space there, because if you keep it really tight, it will what happened in my previous three-fold envelopes, that it actually caused the edges of the envelopes be worn too much, or to be under too much pressure, and they started ripping and falling apart. So I had to reinforce them with transparent or translucent tape, and that doesn't look that pretty, or it doesn't look that nice, you know. I was trying to, because it was a decoupage, so there was not much solution on decoupage what I can add, so I was adding like white tissue paper with decoupage glue again. So I was trying to fix it, but it's not nice anymore while when you are trying to fix that again. Here I do again a threefold envelope thing. And these are envelopes that didn't have that flip actually attached. They are cut, you know. So that's the way I normally open the envelopes. I don't have option to save that flip on the top, so I just cut it and rip it. But I luckily had one of the envelopes where I saved a little bit the flip, but it's very weak because yeah, it's like ripped paper. So I will be later on reinforcing it with additional washi tape. So here I'm connecting actually these envelopes with washi tape. Later on, that will not be on the camera. This washi tape glue is not sufficient to keep it together. So I suggest to add extra glue already, not to count only on the washi tape glue itself. Not sure if you have noticed, but I am keeping space between the envelopes, which is actually the thing that I was doing in the previous envelopes, that I was scoring the line on those flops that are closing the envelopes to give it that extra space. So on this one, I actually kept the distance or the space between the individual envelopes to give it a space, so I have more space for whatever comes on or in the envelope. So here I was scoring the line on the flip on the top, so you can see it can nicely now easily close, and it's not being forced and up because of the thickness of the envelopes when they are folded together. Uh, these are the papers that I was just choosing from. I have so many papers that, you know, it's like an eye candy at the store when I see all these beautiful papers. I want. So I buy plenty of papers, and then they are just laying here and in my storage, and I never get to use them for some reason because I have already so many papers. So I have decided to pick some that I have for years and haven't done anything with them. They are shorter than actually the envelopes, but it doesn't really bother me. It's really not a big difference because I will be actually adding those papers inside, not the outside as on the previous threefold envelopes. These will be from the inside because I don't like, you know, through that window that you have there. I didn't like the background paper, so I will be adding the paper actually inside. And also I have decided that I will also add it on that flip on the top, so also to cover that paper that I am not really fond of at this point. Here I was making a mistake. I was just gluing the whole paper instead of just cutting it. See, and I'm going, and then I realized, yeah, I'm going to cover the window. That's okay. That was a mistake on my side. So then I eventually cut the paper, realizing that half of it has to be glued on one side of the paper, so you can see that paper in through the window, and the other half has to be on the window side to cover this visible part that is closing the closure to cover it. So there you go. So now I figured it out, and here I'm just securing again that score line that I have their space enough when the whole threefold closes. Here I'm yeah, see the washi tape already started to unglue, so I started playing around the edges and securing again the washi tape with extra glue. The corners were coming off and across the front part of the envelope, so that was a learning curve on the go. Then I decided for the style and vision effect to add extra washi tape also on this flip. So I have like a nice 3 lines when you unfold this, as you can see, which wasn't very good move because what happened, it was already so many layers of paper glued to this edge of the flop, even though if I scored the lines again later when the glue dried, so I scored the line there for closing, the flop became so hard that it lost that flexibility for easy closing and unclosing. It's like a piece of wood now that you need to actually force to close and open. I'm I was disappointed that I lost that flexibility or elasticity of that flop, but it's all right. I gave it a closure at the end. You will see how I fixed that. So here I'm just adding more papers to hide the inner paper. Here I'm just measuring how much I will need to cut for to hide that paper from the inside. So I think it looks already pretty nice. I am not really bothered by that post notes or whatever it was, those letters, that lettering that is on front. It's not that much. It's not like it's the address or that it would be something that would bother me. So I will not be covering it later. I'm okay with that. So at this point, I only knew that I want to do some simple drawing after I will finish covering all the paper in the paper that I don't want to see. I only knew that I want to do some drawing, but I wasn't sure what yet. So I was still thinking about that idea. And I actually recorded my drawing, what I'm drawing on the envelope, but what happened and the whole process, what I was still adding the decoration afterwards. But what happened that during making that video, at the beginning, I was readjusting my camera and I touched the camera itself, the viewer, and I had glue on my finger. So I put that glue and dirt on the camera itself. So the whole video came very milky and blurred, so I was not going to use it. So sorry, you will not see that process, how I was adding just a little bit of lace and extra washi tape and my drawing on it. So you see now already the final results after I finished, after already my personalized drawing. It's just some flowers is on it. And yeah, think about how you want, you see how the flowers are, which way they are up and down. So think about how the envelopes are folding and what's for you the priority up and down side. And based on that, you need to think about how you place your ephemera or how you do your drawing. So what's up and down for you. So here I was careful on the one that was drawing, and on this one, actually on the first one, I made twice a mistake when I added ephemera. Like on this part that I'm now opening, I had totally different ephemera. I had a bird there, which is now here in the middle. I had that bird there, but the bird came upside down when I closed it. So I realized I cannot leave it like that. So I ripped it off and I tried to fix it, which created all that bulkiness on it. And this one is also upside down, not in the way that the branch was the eggs and the nest. But I decided just to leave it as it is. So think about it when you are adding it. What is up and what is down for you? What's your preference when you are making it, so you don't get to refix your mistakes. All right, I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. Bye.